Welcome to another Big Daddy D adventure. Today we're going to be building a mobile base for my horizontal vertical bandsaw. For the base frame on this mobile base, I'm going to be using some 2x2 angle. For joining these angle iron together, I decided not to do a miter cut on them. So what I'm doing here is I'm just doing a notched cut where I'm going to go ahead and lay the two pieces of angle at 90 degrees, and then one will fit right up against the other. Next thing to do here is we're going to go ahead and tack the frame together. Then after I tack the frame together, I'm going to go ahead and check to see if it's square. Only one problem with this time, and that's why you check it for square. So what I had to do is I had to cut the tack welds apart and then straighten out the frame. I went ahead and double checked it with a larger angle this time. And then I'm able to tack it back together and move on to finish welding. So for finish welding with the lap joints, it was pretty easy. Everything was a very straight weld. Went ahead and welded all of the seams inside, and then I'll flip it up on edge and then weld the outside seams. It's really not going to take a lot of stress. The whole weight of the bandsaw is going to be distributed the whole length of the piece of angle iron. So I think a full weld all the way around is a pretty good strong weld for this one. The next step I did was I went ahead and started attaching the casters to the bottom. Now here, instead of taking it over to the drill press and drilling out all those 4 holes, I decided that just some good 1/4 inch self-tapping screws is ample to hold the weight of what I'm going to put on it. So what I did here is I went ahead and just clamped it onto the frame with a big C-clamp, and then make sure it stayed in position. Again, this doesn't need to be terribly accurate here. I just tried to line it up in the corner where I could get clear access to all those screws to go through the metal. So since the screws screwed all the way through the metal, I went ahead and using a chisel and a hammer here to just snap those screws off at flush. And then after that, I'll just come back through with an angle grinder and just kind of just smooth it out a little bit, just make sure there's no burrs on it. The burrs aren't going to hurt the bottom of the machine, but that's just more for me and aesthetics. All right, time for final disassembly of the bandsaw wheels. And again, this is the main reason why I want to put it on casters, because all it had was these little wheels on it that allowed it to roll left and right, but not forward and backward. So made moving around the shop not too convenient. So anyway, just pulled the cotter pin off and they came out pretty easy. So after a little bit of paint and an engine hoist, since this thing weighs about a little over 300 pounds, went ahead and lifted it up and set it down on the base. All right, you might be wondering why I left all this extra space out here. What I did is I was always worried about using this as a vertical bandsaw. So I added this extra support out here, and I threw in a couple of extra screws down here. Then now it's really stable. Now I feel like I could actually put a plate up here or a table and actually use it for a metal bandsaw that it is. But so that works out pretty good. And then best thing of all though, this thing now rolls around. And then another cool feature is I've added casters here that lock, but they also lock from rotation. So I think we have another successful build here. And there you go. Well, thanks for coming on another workshop project adventure with me today. As usual, if you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to go on more adventures with me, hit the subscribe button. As always, take care. Bye-bye.